What's up, guys? This is your girl Coco, and I want to welcome you to another episode of Kiki and with Coco. If you are new to the show, let me just tell you a little bit about what the show is about. It's about life in general, with the emphasis on relationships. My friends come on the show, and we kiki about whatever the topic is for the week. Which is not being enough quality men out there to choose from. And so a question that I have and just want to give you guys some perspective on this week is, are we really portraying, or do we encompass the things that we want our mates to have? Are we doing the things that we need to do or putting ourselves in situations to meet the type of men that we want? So today I have a panel of people here to talk about this topic. So I'm going to go ahead and kick it off with an introduction as far as what it is that I do and what my relationship status is. I'm currently in the Air Force. I am single and I am open to dating. I'm not necessarily dating right now, but I am open to it, and I am 32. Next, I have Chastity. Chastity, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm Chaz. Coco just had me on her show a couple weeks ago, but I am back again to kind of talk about another thing that I'm very vocal about, or just have a pretty wide range of a perspective on is relationships. So, I am Chaz. I'm 31. Originally from Chicago. And I am currently single, but I am not in the dating market right now. And I guess just a little bit about me and what I do professionally. I'm in corporate America. I'm in the automotive industry, and I also kind of dibble in some side businesses on the side, from travel to real estate to investing. So that's just a little bit about me in a nutshell.
Okay, and then next we have John. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself, give us some background, and what your relationship status is.
I'm John. I'm from Chicago. I'm 34 years old, and I am currently single and dating.
And that's not exclusive dating, right? You're not exclusively dating anyone.
Correct.
Okay. Drea, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Drea. I am 31 years old, a mom to 3. I'm a wife. I've been married going on 10 years in June. I work for the VA hospital. I'm an administrative officer of our nursing service. And on the side, I am an aspiring writer. Soon I'll be a New York Times bestseller.
Yes, speak that thing into existence.
Manifestation, yes.
Yes. Okay, Loretta, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Loretta. I'm 35 years old, mom of 3. Originally from Baltimore, Maryland, D.C. area, so from the DMV.
Okay.
And I am exclusively dating someone.
Okay, thank you for that. So this week I'm going to skip doing a hot couple or doing a celebrity news for the week. And I'm just going to jump right into the hot cup of cocoa this week. And like I mentioned before, for those of us in our 30s, and I'm sure every woman every person a part of every age bracket has their issues that they find when it comes to dating. This episode is specifically coming from a 30-something perspective, as we are all in our 30s. And basically, we just want to talk about what our experiences have been dating, what it is that we are looking for in a mate, and talking about the things that we can do to put ourselves in situations to meet the people that we are wanting to date or possibly make lifelong mates. And so I'm going to go ahead and just start it off and talk about the attributes that I would like in a partner. And those attributes would be, or qualities, would be, of course, I want them to be a caring individual, a person that's open to basically anything. I don't want a closed-minded person. I would like for him to be successful. And that doesn't necessarily mean that he has to be like, a CEO type person or like making like a lot of money, but just just successful in what it is that he is doing, and hopefully that he has aspirations and dreams that he is working towards. I also like being able to learn something from the person that I'm with. And so whether that be, for me, it would probably be learning, him teaching me how to be submissive in a way, because I am used to
submissive,
my own money, paying my own bills, not dependent on anybody. So, someone that will allow me to follow his lead. And also, like, I'm interested in real estate and investment. So if there was someone that could, that's learned in those areas, those would be ideal. Chas, you want to go ahead and tell us what attributes you would like for in a partner?
Yeah. So look at this as not necessarily just things I would like, but more so non-negotiables, right? So you got to have your list of non-negotiables where it's like, if they don't have these qualities, I actually can't talk to you, right? So I think every woman and every man have to have a certain list of like things that they just won't date a person if they have those things. So I do have a list of non-negotiable. It's definitely not a long list. Of course, I have likes. Everybody has preferences and likes, but my non-negotiables, number one would probably be, they have to be spiritual or woke. They have to be understanding what's going on in this world. You know, they don't have to necessarily like be religious. They don't have to be Christian, Muslim, whatever, but they have to believe in God, believe like in a higher power, live their life in that path, doing, good deeds for other people, being generous, believing like in the golden rule, believing in karma, trustworthy, all those different godlike traits. Like, they have to exhibit those things. And, they need to be woke. They need to know what's going on. They need to know the system, the matrix. I can't be sending them videos on different things that are going on and they like, oh, you're this conspiracy theorist. Like, nah, I'm not trying to talk to somebody where I gotta convince you that there's a whole program going on right now. So that's one thing. The second thing that I would probably say would be that they need to have leadership capabilities. Like you said, like, I need someone that's gonna be a leader, be an alpha male, and someone that I can actually submit to. That's very, very important to me as an alpha female. So I don't have any problem with submission, but you have to come correct. Like, you have to be someone that I trust and someone that can actually lead me. The third thing I would say would be, they have to be financially stable. That's a must. And they also have to have a mindset where their plans is to be financially free. I don't want to date someone, and this is just me personal, there's nothing wrong with anybody else, but I'm saying from my perspective, I can't be with someone that's, they only want to do a 9 to 5 like for the rest of their life. Now, if you're doing it now, that's fine. Everybody's kind of trying to like find their way, but I personally want someone that wants to own something, that wants to really build generational wealth. So that's important to me. And lastly, but definitely not least, is health conscious. I'm starting this journey of, being vegan, being alkaline, taking my herbs, like learning about boosting my immune system, using natural products, like being natural. So it's like, I want someone, they don't have to know everything because I don't know everything. I just started this journey, but they just need to be on that same page as me and like want to do better. So those are my four non-negotiables.
All right, John.
Yeah, I would say that my non-negotiables are, someone that's God-fearing, someone that's willing to compromise. I think in a long-term relationship, compromise is mandatory, and someone who is altruistic, someone that's that's giving, right?
Giving like gifting you things or giving like how?
Just giving. Period. Yeah.
So basically, just giving of time, giving of themselves, not
Yeah,
But
yeah. Not, I mean, not only to me, but to other people. Just a giving spirit. That's what I like. I like that.
okay.
okay.
And anything else, John?
I would say. I mean, that's all I could. That's all. I mean, those are the ones that come to my mind off top.
So physically, you don't have nothing because most men are usually physically driven. They have their non-negotiables physically more so than
I
us
mean, I
women.
think.
So we want to know everything.
I mean, physically, it has to be someone that's physically fit. I
Okay, that's a
mean,
big deal, right? Because a lot of women
yeah,
aren't fit out here.
Right.
yeah. I mean, that's my preference, and I usually attract what my preference is. So, I mean, that's not like a non-negotiable on my list, right?
Mm, okay.
Okay. Drea.
I mean, well, I don't really. I guess I can say after being married all this time. When I got married, I was young. I don't really think that I knew exactly what it was I wanted out of a man, a husband. I just knew like I loved him, he loved me. It was love. But as I've grown with him and we've gotten older, both of us have changed tremendously. So I think when I first got with him, I remember somebody asking me like, "How is it? How can you submit to him and how can you follow him?" And I'm like, for me, it's easy because he's a man of God. He's somebody, he grew up in the church, so he knows the word, like for real. He's heavily rooted in his faith. So to me, it was easy to be able to follow him and just know that he was going to steer me and our family on the right path. And looking back on everything we have accomplished, I can definitely tell that I guess you could say I made the right decision. But now we're both focused on like leaving a legacy for our children. Not just being employees, we both have our own, aspirations, goals. They differ, but then they also coincide. He's somebody that motivates me, pushes me. That's what I wanted for myself. I know that that's what he wanted for himself. And just somebody that'll treat me like an equal, not view me as like they doormat or just be that woman that, I'm dragging you along, you gonna do what I say. Like, know that I have a mind of my own, thoughts of my own, and I'm capable of making good decisions for our family. So right now, my expectation is different because I'm not looking at it from a dating perspective. I'm more so looking at it, how will he and I continue to grow together? Like, what are we gonna do? Because even when you together with somebody after all these years, like I still have to work on me. He still has to work on him. Because trust me, it has been like a rocky road, and I don't really feel like, yeah. So right now, I don't really have like dating expectations. I guess I just have like the growth for me and him that we're continuing to try to push towards to being better spouses, better parents, better, everything. So yeah, just I
I
guess
have a question for you,
really.
Dre. Since you're the only married person on this phone, I guess, and I guess does those expectations change with the years? Like, do you have certain, like, does your level of how do I want to say this? What you expect in your husband change, and like, do you articulate that to him? Is it like do you guys have planning meetings or like expectation meetings or any type of check-in meetings just to make sure you guys are on the same page, like with one another? I guess communication, like what's that like?
Yes. So like I said, 10 years. There have been years where we haven't been on the same page. Like I'm operating on this frequency and you're on another. So communication is definitely important. Like now with us getting older, we sit down and we talking about everything. Even things like in the beginning that I probably wouldn't have spoke on. Like now I'm vocalizing that, and as well as he. Like I expect XYZ from you, and it's been times where I haven't been the best woman, but I've been expecting him to be the best man, and vice versa. So it definitely boils down to communication, talking about it. And yeah, they do change because at one point in the marriage, it was just like, okay, you paying the bills, you're doing this, okay, I'm happy. But then it's
Right.
like, no, now I really need you to like let us focus. Like we can't just still be out partying and kicking it like we young folks, like we got now, okay, like let's lock in. Let's really focus on building. Okay, these kids getting older. They need X, Y, Z. I don't want to be working for the rest of my life. Neither do you. Like the conversation have changed and we both have evolved tremendously. So yeah, communication is very important on both ends.
Because, we all single on this line. So I think all of us have aspirations to want to get married. So we're going to be leaning on you a lot on this call.
And even when you get married, it's like you don't have all the answers. You're still learning. Because like I said, we were both very, very young. We did not really know what the hell we was doing. So, I mean, we still learning, still growing. And I think even when y'all decide to get married, even though it'll be in y'all later ages, y'all going to still be learning and growing with the person you with. And you just gotta work together.
All right, Loretta, we ready for you, girl.
Girl, non-negotiables. I'm just, you know what? I'm 35. I have 3 kids. I want someone I can grow with. I feel like I've been independent for a long time. So I want someone that can meet me where I'm at and we just move on and grow from here. Like Drea said, legacy. Like Cassidy and so you said, I want someone I can trust to be submissive with. That's a lot. That's a lot you're asking for a strong Black woman. You know what I mean? So I don't know that I have a list, but definitely I want someone I feel comfortable with, that I can be vulnerable, someone I can be submissive with, someone I can grow with, and we're building something together and independently.
That's good.
Okay. So I think and this is including Andrea, because as she is, moving through her marriage, they're also growing together and figuring out life. It sounds like a common thing that everybody want is basically, I think, communication, because you need communication in order to be able to navigate life together. Which is important for me because I've been in a relationship where there was not communication, or maybe we couldn't communicate in an effective way in order for us to be on the same page. And so that was a rough process to go through, not being able to communicate with somebody and feeling like, as a woman, being able to be submissive and allow the man to lead. Which is important to me because I do believe in God and I do believe that I should follow my husband. But I need him to be in a place where he can allow me to follow him, because that's one thing. If I don't feel like while we're dating, you have those qualities that I admire, that I want to follow you, like, we can't get married.
You know
I
what?
want a leader.
Sorry,
I want a leader.
Yeah, and that reminds me. I went to this conference a while ago. It was like a Christian singles meeting or conference or workshop or something like that. And one thing, the lady that kind of taught it, what it really resonated with me and stayed with me, was that she was like, ladies, stop dating potential. If that man not saying that he's where he will always be right now, but if you're not comfortable with where he's at in this current state, like say he never changes, he never gets better, he never grows, he literally stays the same exact person, could you be with that person? If that answer is no, you need to let him go, period. And I don't know, that stuck with me. Like, don't date potential. Like, if it gets better, that's great, but that man stay the same.
I feel like potential is dating someone for potential is something you doing in your 20s. Like at that point, y'all both trying to figure it out. You don't have all your shit together. So it's kind of like at that point, yeah, you are dating for potential. But for me, being in my 30s with a career, I need a like-minded individual. And as we all said, we not looking to be working this 9 to 5 or whatever the case may be.
Right.
My career for damn show ain't for forever. I only got 8 more years in this thing. That's all I'm giving them. But, I got 8 more years, and then I need to figure out a whole nother career path. So now that's what I'm working on. Like, in 8 years, what can I see myself doing? Do I want to still be clocking in, or do I want to be working for myself? And I don't need no man that's still talking about some, like, it's nice to be corporate, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying, or to have this military background. But what do you want to do? What is your passion outside of that?
But
Well,
see, to me,
But
that's kind of what throws me, because entrepreneurship is not for everybody.
It ain't for
it's
everybody.
not.
Like,
It's
that's not a
not. It's
walk.
not.
You can still be
Mhm.
successful.
Yep.
I just, and I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate here.
Mhm.
I feel like social media has set this standard that
Mhm.
you have to be your own boss, your own this, and you
Mhm.
can't be successful if you work for somebody else and you making their money. I'm definitely for people having their own and doing their own, but when you say like you know you don't want to be clocking in, so I don't know if I want to be with somebody else that's clocking in. Like, is that a definite deal breaker? Like, is it just he has to be an entrepreneur, or what if he's successful?
No,
Yeah,
it's
he does work
Right.
for somebody
I
else.
would be okay if, say, he had a corporate job but was doing something on the side that he had
BINGO.
as a passion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And not
Exactly.
solely like, oh, my
There
job
you
is
go.
my life.
Mhm.
That's how I feel too. Because this is the thing. I'm not
but
knocking.
that's
I want the corporate
potential.
job. Yeah.
Huh?
Sorry, Loretta.
That's potential, though, isn't it? Like someone who's working a full time, or being an entrepreneur, or just working and then having a side hustle. That's potential.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, us
So that brings us
initially
back to the
dating,
question.
like, as I'm dating you, I'm not dating you as somebody that's, oh, I'm the postman or whatever, and I don't want a pipe dreamer. I need to
Yeah.
know
Sure.
what actions
No.
are you
Exactly.
doing to
Exactly.
fulfill
It
your
needs to be
dream.
But that's
actionable.
communication. Yeah, an adult, mature
Yeah. Because we're in our
communication.
30s now. I mean, like
Yeah.
Coco kind of said, you know, that was kind of like in your 20s where you could kind of mess around with the pipe dreams just a little bit. But now, nah. But what Dre was talking about, Andrea, um, he can definitely have a 9 to 5 base, right? But
Mm-hmm.
you can't pass down a job. Like, that's not legacy. That's not, generational wealth building. So definitely have that income coming in. If because if I'm an entrepreneur, that's kind of good to have somebody having some consistent income. But there still needs to be a side business, whether we do it together or you've already started it, or there needs to be something where we can work on together and or pass down to our kids. Like, I guess that's my biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
So multiple streams of income.
Okay, John, you quiet. What you thinking?
I mean, I don't think that the person that I choose, has to have the entrepreneurial, independent mindset. I'm okay if she has a corporate job or she has a career. She's on a career track. Um, I've always been, someone that takes a lot of risks, right? And so even when I look at my parents' relationship, my mother always had her career and my father, ran businesses, right? And so I think that it was a good mix for them, right? But I
Mm-hmm.
agree with Drea, like that, being an entrepreneur, everybody ain't cut out for that.
Right.
That's not, yeah. And sometimes when you have two people who are entrepreneurs or independent thinking, you can run into a lot of conflict when it comes to finances, right? And so I think finances is probably one of the biggest things in a relationship, right? And so you got to have some stability there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I mean, one of us having a corporate job ain't a bad thing, but we just need to figure out. And if you're passionate about that job, so that's another thing. If you're working and you're passionate, so say you're a doctor or a nurse or something that you really actually enjoy doing, then that's great. But if
Yeah.
it's like a corporate job just for the money, I want you to be happy and to be allocating your time to things that that actually make you happy, that are your passions, that are your goals, but still bringing in money in the same time, because I know a lot of people like to say money ain't important. It is. That's the root cause of a lot of issues, and I don't want to have money issues in my relationship at all.
So so I have three older sisters, and one of my sisters is married. And so what she tells me the most is she's like, "Yo, like we're married, but this is a business relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like when the business part isn't right, like the marriage part isn't right, right?" And
Mm-hmm.
so I always look for, when I'm seriously dating someone, I always look for, like, how good are we at, making transactions and making sure that bills are paid, and how responsible is this person, and what's their credit score, and how do they deal with money? Do they spend first and save last, or do they save first and spend after that, right? So that's something that I consider a lot.
So I think we're all looking or aspiring to be in a relationship with someone that has things going on for themselves and not necessarily just physical attributes to a person.
When you 30, I think the physical, the list, you kind of diminish a little bit.
List.
Yeah, you start taking all things off the list. Well, he ain't gotta have this. Well, I would like him tall, but I may have to settle for a shorter guy.
I feel like you gotta really talk and think about that physical. Like, that physical is important. So since we're going to talk about it, just like I said, it'll be 10 years that I've been married in June. So that's but since we had got back together, it was a year prior to that. So that's 11 years with this same person. Like, really visualize this 11 years with this same person. The only person you've been intimate with, all of that. So even between me, I in these 11 years, I done gave the man 3 kids. So I ain't gonna even lie, I done changed. Okay, I ain't looking the way I looked back in the day.
Right.
So to me, physical is important, because you ain't gonna be able to stay with somebody if you're not sexually attracted to them on their good days and their bad days. So I don't know, like, y'all point of view on the physical, but if you gonna sleep with this person for the rest of your life, you can't be like, oh, well, his dick ain't that with it, or that nature, like that's important. Like,
okay.
I mean,
so when it comes to y'all physical, like, what's y'all deal breakers on that?
Well, wait a minute, but this is important too, not just for the
now I'm
looks,
not
but
saying.
too.
Yes, but I'm not saying that looks are not important.
Right.
Whoever I decide to be with, I am going to be physically attracted
to them. Correct. Yeah.
But I just know I need to, along with that physical attraction, I need to be mentally stimulated as well.
Yep. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, everything needs to be
all of
that. I agree with you on the whole mentally stimulated. Man, that's really big for me. Man.
Yeah.
I've dated, somebody that looks like they should be in a magazine a few times, and that usually don't do it for me.
They're probably dumb as
right?
hell.
Yeah, it's not a lot of the times it's not a whole lot going on upstairs. And what I've come to find out is that, people that are like very attractive, right? Like very attractive people, over the long run, it's hard to keep those people satisfied and happy, right? You have a person that
they got options.
They can have options if they're single, but you have a person that's
when they dating too.
You have a person that's been given preference since they were a very small child, right? And so that gives them a complex. Now, not everybody that's very attractive is like that, but people who are very attractive, I think over the long haul, it's a little bit harder to satisfy, that person's ego, right? Or that person's expectation. So I still need to be attracted to you, but you ain't got to look like you're supposed to be in a magazine, right? But if I can have both, that'll be
the bomb.
Best case scenario for me. Yeah, that'll be the bomb. Yeah.
I guess to like Drea's question, I personally, the only, I guess, non-negotiable I have physically is like I personally couldn't date a guy that was like huge, like super big, eating crazy. Like I couldn't do that. But other than that, mostly everything I could probably somewhat figure it out. Like short, like I'm a tall woman, but I've I'm okay with you being short. I prefer a taller man, but I'm not like I can't talk to you. But I hear shorter girls be like, I can't talk to nobody that's not 6 feet and up. And I'm like,
I
girl, you
know, I never
5'1".
understood
Yeah.
that.
You're 5'1", boo. Like,
I'm here for that 6 feet and up shit.
But I never understood that. Like, I'm
me
5'1",
either.
and I don't want nobody. I got to reach up and pull out.
I'm 5'8", and I'm like, I've talked to guys, not dated, but just, talked to guys, went on dates with guys shorter than me before, and it wasn't a problem. It's just, what's your attitude? Are you a boss? But yeah, the obese, the not being healthy, kind of just eating, I can't do that. Like, that's the only thing I think that would turn me off physically.
So height to y'all don't really matter.
Everybody's different, John, because I know some women, height is a non-negotiable. If this man is not this height,
my sisters tell me that. All three of my sisters tell me that height is really important.
Yeah, it's important to a lot of women.
I'm
it's
short, so anybody I date is gonna be taller than me. I'm 4'11". So
oh, you a midget, girl?
No.
That's a legal midget.
I'm no midget. So anybody I date,
just say you 5 feet, girl.
Taller than me. But I mean, if I could get, if I date somebody on the taller spectrum, I'm not gonna be like, oh, he too tall or whatever the case may be. So,
Yeah.
Loretta, what about you and the physical attributes you want in a man?
I want someone good looking. No offense. Like, I think we all want someone, like Drea said, that we're attracted to. So, good looking. I like athletic builds. Darker than me.
These are like non-negotiables, Loretta, or these are just preferences?
No, you just said these are preferences, I think, but they're not non-negotiables. I just want to connect with someone. So that can be beyond physical. I just want a connection. And so if you're able to make me laugh and we're able to have intellectual conversations, then the physical stuff, you become sexier to me.
Exactly. That's how I feel too. Yeah. If you can, we talking about books and reading and, history and stuff like that. Like, I'm a sapiosexual. So yeah, I will be physically attracted to that person, whether they're attractive or not. But I mean, it is good to have all, like John said, if you got someone that's fine and that does all those things, I mean, sign me up right now. I'm in the pool.
Yeah, because that's the kind of stuff.
So let me ask y'all a question. Can I ask y'all a question? Is sex important to y'all? And so we talked about non-negotiables, and we talked about that video that we watched on.
I was going to bring it up and play a little bit of it.
Okay, so maybe.
But I will say, sex is important to me, and I'm not no cheater, but if it ain't good, like, I'ma definitely not feel the most inclined to be with just that one person. And if we can't get on the same page sexually, then we can't be. That
what's the definition of good sex? What is that? Like, what is that? Like, you gotta have like mind-blowing sex every time you have sex, or
no, because every time ain't gonna be mind-blowing. But I think being open, even though I ain't the most openest person out there, you know what I'm saying? But if I'm open to something or into something, I want the other person to be open to, if I want to do something and it's not something that they traditionally do or normally do. And, I would like to be open to the things that they're open to or that they like as well. So I think having an environment where you feel comfortable to be open with that person sexually is important, which can hinder a relationship if one party or both parties don't feel safe enough to, say what it is that they like.
Yeah, it's important. It's very important. For longevity, you ain't gonna get no longevity if y'all don't have that same sexual appetite.
Yeah. Chemistry needs to be there for sure. Exactly. Like, there needs to be chemistry. Yeah, I would say it just needs to be a chemistry. Like, if you have chemistry, I think even if the person is maybe not as big or there's certain things, like if you have chemistry, like really strong chemistry with them, I think that chemistry can elevate that sexual experience and make that sexual experience better than someone else that may quote unquote have the package for it. But you know what I
That's
mean?
true. I think everybody has to say like,
Connection is
yeah, you
more
had
important.
a
And
sexual.
confidence. Like he needs to
Mhm.
be, for me, he got to be a confident sexual partner. Like, you know, willing to please, willing to be dominant, more so take the lead, be open minded. Those like I guess kind of my non-negotiables, but I'm pretty much though like I'm a pleaser, so it's like I'm more open to what they wanted. Like I don't really have a whole bunch of things that I want to try or do. So I'm more so like I'm open, right? I'll try mostly everything once. Now if I don't like it, I'm gonna tell you like, nah, we ain't doing this no more. But yeah, as long as you open and you're not forcing me to do stuff that I told you I tried it and I don't like it, we're good. We're good.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and play the clip which inspired this episode. I hope y'all can hear it.
Have a lot of slim pickings. The pickings for women are not as vast as the pickings for men. We are literally picking through a pile of shit when it comes to men. Let's just call a spade a spade. We are picking through men that don't equal up to what the fuck we looking for. Let's just put it out there, because I'm tired of y'all with the bullshit. Either you fine as fuck and you ain't got no motherfucking job. Either you got a job and you ugly as fuck. Either you don't have a lot of money but you got a big dick. Either we trying to pick and choose through a lot of bullshit y'all bringing to the table. You don't have a car, but you got a good heart. You got a 9-to-5 job, but you don't have bigger goals than that. We gotta listen. We trying to pick and choose the best out of a lot of bullshit. So y'all gotta cut us some motherfucking slack.
So later in the I'll definitely post this on my page for you guys listening so y'all can hit a whole little video. But later on in the video, she goes on to talk about how she does want a man that's physically attractive, got money, and what was it? She wants you to be cute,
Big
got
dick.
money, and got a big dick. And I just feel like it's so much more to a person than those three things that you should want in a mate.
Yeah, we talked about this video, and like you said, this will spark this whole conversation. Like, I'm like, girl, I totally understand where she's coming from, because as women, our pool is a lot smaller. It is, especially once you get to 30 plus, you're fishing. It's a lot of options for men, but women, we don't have as many, but there are still options. And I think for women, first off, where are you shopping? Where are you looking? Where are you going? What environments are you in? Because if you're at the local bars, you're going to attract the local type of guys that may not have all of those qualities that you're looking for. So you need to first look into like, where are you shopping? Where are you at? Where are you positioning yourself to like meet these men, with these qualities that you're looking for? And then two, are you a woman of quality? Because if those are your basic needs from a man, a big dick, a job, an apartment, not cheating, I mean, boo, like I don't know, that's kind of basic to me. I mean, I'm not knocking her, and we all want things in that spectrum, but like I said, you kind of have to have like your like non-negotiables. And then what are you offering? Like, right, like if that's all you're offering, then that's probably, you may only get a certain amount of those qualities. So that's just my take on it. I think she needs to look at what type of guys is she talking to? How is she meeting these men? And she needs to like look at herself and see, okay, because you attract what you put out. Like, I think you attract certain type of men because you are a certain type of woman. Like, I'm very big on the laws of attraction. I know me personally, when I was, out here not being the best of person, I was attracting some bad men. But I also was not that good of a woman. Like I was, out here just having a good time and, not really caring about people's feelings either. So if you're a good person and you have the right mindset and you're putting yourself in those right environments, I think that you will start attracting the right type of people. Now, the big dick thing, you ain't gonna know that off the top. You're gonna have to, vet that out a little bit. But if you got everything else, you may have to compromise on that just a little bit, boo. That's my take.
Loretta, ain't you reading a book about attraction or whatever?
I'm reading The Game of Desire by Shane Boudrum. And she's talking about, I think I have to find the book, but just how to date as a single person, as a woman with dominance. And basically what I get, and I follow her on Instagram too. She's Shane Booty. I love her perspective because she comes with facts. But like y'all said, like there's more women to men. So dating is really hard right now, especially over 30. And some of the things she said, we have experience, even though we have our standards, we have our non-negotiables. Along the way, we meet those type of men. So I feel her, but like you said, she has to, maybe she's attracting those type of people because she's in that place.
She's in that pool. And then she like we talked about, men have more choices. They do. They just, statistically, they have more options. So how are you elevating yourself to get that man? It's a competition.
It is. It's
Facts.
a competition.
It's a competition.
Yeah,
okay,
it's
go
definitely a competition.
It's a competition.
So one of the things, because like we said, we can all agree with some of the things that she was saying, but to me, it was kind of like, okay, you saying that you want this kind of man or whatever. What are you, putting out there? Because like you said, you're going to attract what you put out. So what exactly, what qualities do you have that would make you a better pick, besides the dude that got a car and ain't got no job or whatever the case, that would put you in another bracket to be like, I deserve a better man. So for me,
hold yourself to the same standards.
Huh?
I'm sorry. I said just you need to hold yourself to the same standards that you want to hold people that you're dating to.
So like for me, as far as it comes to dating, I think I am a good catch. I have my female friends that tell me I'm a good woman. I take care of myself. I try to keep myself up. I slack here and there on the working out, but I come through every now and again. I think I'm pretty good with money. I can travel. I can do whatever my heart's desire is. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, like, it's all well and good when you're excelling at work and, your side hustles are prospering, but it's kind of just like, at the end of the day, you want to be able to share that with somebody and that person be on the same page as you. And so, I know for me personally, in order to put myself in a position to meet the kind of man that I feel like I am due, I feel like if left to my own devices, I may not choose the right person. And then it's not saying that I don't have good
judgment.
Good judgment of character. But when you first meet somebody, you meet the representative. You don't necessarily meet the person who they truly are, right out fresh out the gate. So it's just like, okay, I'm going off of, okay, you fit the bill of some of the qualities that I say that I want. And as I get to know you further, I'm finding out, do you meet the rest of the qualities, and so then you find out, no, this is not really the person for me, so in my mind, now I'm still open to put myself out there to date, but I'm also open to allowing my friends to put me on as well. Like, you vetted this person, me, the kind of person I am. You know what I'm saying? You have a single friend that could probably fit the bill. You know what I'm saying? Put me on. Just like Chas did with Kobe, I appreciated that. He was definitely not somebody that I would typically date, like if I met him on my own, but getting to know him, he fit the quality of man that I wanted. You know what I'm saying?
So Chastity is a matchmaker.
I told you I
Man, listen, you ain't never put me on nobody. What's up with that? For real, you telling me that you got all these?
I mean,
women
I
around
see.
you?
No, I sent a couple
ain't
pictures
never
your
seen
way.
not
I
one
sent a
of
couple
these
pictures
motherfuckers.
your way. Nah, John is a little picky. I've sent a couple pics his way. He a little picky. So I'm like, okay, I just haven't found the right mix yet for him. When I
Man,
come
you
with a
be sending
person,
me
I come with the right person. Okay.
you be sending me the whole Sealy off of Color Purple, man. For real. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I can't.
Chastity will purposely send me a picture of someone that she knows that I'm not gonna be fucking with, and I'll be looking like, oh, okay, nah,
That's not true. That's not true. I got you though. Now I want all my friends to be healthy, happy, in love, and everything. I just wish somebody, don't nobody try to hook me up though. But I'm just gonna stay out of it. I'm not gonna say anything.
But you know what it seemed like too with men and women in dating these days. It seemed like back in the day, and I mean I can't speak, but I know it seemed like nowadays a lot of women are the aggressive. They're the man like. He who finds a wife finds a good thing, not the other way around. So
exactly,
the woman, you should not. And I know they'd be like, shoot your shot, all of that. No, you don't do that. He is supposed to come to you. You don't go to him. And I think that's what is making men feel like, yeah, I got options, or yeah, I know she want me. I'm gonna put her like. Just women, I just feel like don't get to the point of desperation. Not saying it's necessarily desperation, but don't get to that point to where you pitching yourself to them. That's not how it's supposed to work. And if they feel that they get that little hint of desperation from you, they're gonna take that and they're gonna run with it. And women gotta take their power back. That's just this is just a lot of what I'm seeing. I can't say it's definitely happening, but take your power back. Why have you a lot of women have given men this power because y'all so quick to jump, hop, skip when they say, take it back. Like that's why things is limited. Because men knowing this what you won't do, this other woman will. So
there's a power in the PUSSY.
Okay, that's why every motherfucking woman just fly.
I agree.
I mean, but you gotta speak up too, though.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with raising your hand. I'm not saying that you gotta go get it. Raise your hand though.
How she gotta raise her hand? I really want, let these single women know. How do she?
What does that hand raise look like, John? What does that hand raise look like?
It ain't nothing wrong with starting a conversation. If you're in the same environment with someone that you're attracted to, there's nothing wrong with starting that conversation first. And if he is, smart enough, he'll get the signals like, oh, okay, let me see, but you gotta, I mean, the women that I know, my female friends that are married, they're a little bit more aggressive when it comes to raising their hand. They're not like, they're not gonna admire somebody in their social circle or someone in the same environment with them and just, not speak or not, make a conversation with them. There's nothing wrong with making a conversation and nothing wrong with I mean, it all depends on what your personality is. I've seen women send drinks before, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I've done that.
Because I'm gonna come and talk to you if you send me a drink. Just like you gonna come talk to me if I send you a drink. So it all depends on what you're comfortable doing.
I mean, now I'm not the type of person that's shy when it comes to meeting people. I have no problem being like, hi, my name is Coco. Like, I know a lot of people be like, how you be meeting dudes? Because, I mean, I meet men everywhere. And they just be like, how you be meeting these people? And I just be like, I just go over to them and I be like, hi, my name is Coco, whatever. And it goes from there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no problem with putting it out there like, hey, I'm attracted to you, because you must know I'm attracted to you, that I've approached you. It's what you do after I approach you that,
I think it's a game. It's a dance, right? Like, I think it's kind of what both John and Andrea kind of said. Like, you, especially now in the 30s too, you're dealing with a different pool of men, especially too if you're a very accomplished woman. You could come across that as intimidating to some guys. Like some men always tell me,
go raise your hand,
bitch face, like
raise
you
your
look.
Hand. Raise your hand.
Look, as a man on this phone, he's saying to raise your hand, y'all. Listen, all the single ladies, y'all gotta raise y'all hand.
Listen, if you're in your 30s and you know that you're really serious about settling down and finding your husband, if you know someone in your social circle, if you know someone in your environment fits the script, you raise your hand. Why are you playing? Don't play. For what? For real.
No, I agree with him.
You're gonna be mad. You're gonna be
don't
mad
be thirsty, right?
No, don't be desperate.
Don't be thirsty. Yeah. But yeah.
Thirsty.
You may have to shoot the first shot like indirectly.
No,
you may have to.
Man, listen, you ain't got to shoot no shot. All you have to do is start the conversation. That's it. Mm-hmm. Because more times than not,
that is shooting your shot though. Start next conversation.
Listen, we'll be oblivious to a woman that's really interested in us. We won't even be paying her no attention. So just starting a conversation might be, I think it's a very good piece of advice for, a woman that knows that she's trying to, settle down.
Okay. Raise your hand.
Raise your hand,
sis. Key takeaways from the podcast. Raise your hand, lady.
Yes, amen. Raise your hand, sis. If you see that man that you interested in, it ain't no wrong with going and speaking.
Mm-hmm. That's facts too.
Just speak. Don't.
Hi. All you gotta say is hi. How are you? Who invited you here? Just ask them who invited them here. That's it. That starts the conversation. You don't have to tell them that you like him, that you think he's looks like this, or you heard this about him. All you got to do is ask him, how are you? Who invited you? Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
And in your 30s, and I'll say this, in your 30s for a woman, like the competition for y'all, I agree. The competition with women is so steep. It's so steep. Like you're competing with women that are in y'all 30s, and you're competing with women that are in their 20s too. So it's like, like all of that sitting back in the couch and cutting, praying to God that he sends you this type of person, that shit is dead.
He said women in their 30s and their 20s, y'all competing with women in their 40s too, because they hitting up Dr. Miami more than the young girls is, baby.
The ones in their 40s, come on now, the ones in their 40s, listen, they're going to come right up to you and say, hey, look, what's up? When do you want to, they got a different type of game in their 40s. So it's, I think literally, if you want to be happy, and you want to, have a family and get married and all of that stuff, like you got to make your happy ending. You got to create your own story.
Facts.
Well, I have a question for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Since we're in the era of social media, what do y'all think about dating, using dating apps?
Oh, that's a good question. So for me, this is Chaz. I am 100% an advocate for online dating. I think it's a great way for people to meet other people because everybody is online, right? Like, so the platform, like where everyone is represented, it's not taboo anymore. It's not weird. It's not this crazy thing. Personally, though, I've never done it. I'm an advocate for it, but I've personally have never dated online. I've never used any dating app before. And it's only simply just because, I'm a very social person. So I social media network or whatever in person. Like I go to conferences, I go to different meetings. Like I'm just always kind of meeting people. So I just haven't had the need to really use that yet. But I am definitely, an advocate for people who don't go out, who don't meet people, who don't know people, who don't have a good circle. Maybe they don't know men in the caliber, the caliber they want to date. They don't know those type of men, or they don't have friends that know those type of men. So they absolutely should be on dating apps.
So right now for me, dating apps it's okay if I want to look in a different location, but geographically where I'm located at right now, the pool is not, as far as like dating dating sites or whatever is not the kind of man I want, ain't on there. So, you know, at this point, I have to be open to being in a long distance relationship if I want to date.
Right. I mean, what do you mean? What do you mean by the kind of man that you want isn't on there?
So,
John, are you on the dating app?
Huh? You said what?
Are you on use? Are you on dating apps?
Oh yeah, I'm with it. I'm with that. I like it.
Right. And he's a quality
I like
man.
it. I like it. Yeah. Nah,
So
You may be
yeah.
missing your beat, Coco.
It's a whole different type of quality.
I mean,
woman
not to say I'm not on dating apps
that.
because I am. It's just like I said, geographically where I'm at, it's not
gotcha.
a big pool of black men to choose from.
Okay. Got it.
Like I have nothing against dating outside the race, but if I am to date someone that is not black, I want to meet them organically. I need to see fresh out the gate, like, you know, what is your personality like? You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to see the other attributes that you have with my own eyes and not just from a dating app. Like, I would rather meet that person organically just through physical interaction. Like, and because of the job that I have a lot of white men to choose from. But you know, because I've never dated a white man, it's not as easy. I will say it's not as easy for me to approach a white man as it is for me to approach a black man. But it would be somebody that I'm in constant interaction with if I was to date outside of my race.
Yeah, I guess, and women do need to be open to dating outside of their race, I guess. And when I say, let me slow down. I think women need to be open. So African American women need to be open to first dating black men, maybe that aren't African American, if they haven't maybe seen success in dating, you know, African American men. So maybe it's a black man from the Caribbean, from Africa, or from somewhere else. Because a lot of those men sometimes do check a lot of boxes that us African American women are looking for. And I think that sometimes we either get afraid, or oh, they're going to be controlling, or oh, they're going to be crazy, or oh, I'm going to have to move to Africa, or whatever. Like, you know, maybe just at least give it a trial before maybe transitioning to a whole nother race. But be happy. I'm not here to judge nobody, but that's just my 2 cents.
I mean, I'm open to dating African guys. I mean, being close to London, like, it's a lot of, you know, it's a big African community here. It's a big Caribbean community here. So the option is there. It's just not in my immediate area. So I would have to travel like 2.5 hours to get to those type of men. You know, and right now I'm not allowed to go to London, you know, just because of the pandemic. But you know, I am open to dating other than African American men.
Cause clearly all your friends didn't jump ship, girl.
Yeah,
no, but we all on the same boat. We all on the same boat. We all black, so it is what it is. But I'm just saying, I think that there has definitely been a rise of African American women that have been more open to it now than before. Because I remember before, because I've dated African guys before, and you know, friends used to tease me like about it, like, why would you date an African guy? Like, that's stupid, or you know, he's gonna be controlling. Oh, like, he's a guy just like any other guy, right? But he just probably has a different mindset. He actually has 2 parents. He actually is successful, you know. So it's like, unfortunately, and it's not any of our men's fault, because they just have a whole different plate, or you know, cards like that they're dealt, right? So that's unfortunate, and I'm definitely all about empowering all black men, you know, but you just black, so it don't matter where you're from, in my opinion.
Them Caribbeans though, I don't know about them. Them ex.
And then I travel too, so you know, you guys travel, you're gonna meet all types of men.
What's wrong with the Caribbean?
They some whores.
I mean, that's men. That are men. No, you can't say that, because I think all men have a propensity to be promiscuous.
For sure.
And that's
Absolutely.
African American, that's
Sure,
white
but
men, that's Mexican
Absolutely.
men.
Chastity, I
I was about
agree
to
with
say,
you
I feel like
100%.
some cultures are more accepting though of the promiscuity than others. So like said, West Indian men or Caribbean, Jamaican, you tend to deal with a different element sometimes when you're dating them.
Yeah, true. But then I always try to look at it from a very objective point of view. Is that the natural state of men? And we in the Western society have conditioned men to think like being with one woman is the right way to go. And if you don't, you're some type of demon or dog. Right?
Very true. Very true.
Because that's natural in the animal kingdom. You see, in men, he got multiple women.
I've definitely toyed with the idea of being open to an open relationship, possibly, but I've not fully come around to that whole concept. I ain't there yet.
It's hard. I think it's very difficult, especially coming from this, this society where we're conditioned to think, monogamy is the right way. And I hear so many women like, oh, he a dog, or he not loyal, he this and this. Well, I mean, if he was honest with you and he told you, would that make it better? Or if he was just real with you like from the beginning, like, hey, I'm a good man, I do all these things, I'll take care of you, I'll take care of my family, we can build together, we can grow together, I got great sex. But you know what? I probably will have multiple women. Maybe just 2, maybe just 3. We'll cap it. Would you be okay with that?
I've
That's
had
a good
he was
question.
honest about it.
I've had someone say that, ask me that before. Basically like, me and you have our thing, but is it okay if I dip out and I go see Mary from time to time? And this is when I was younger, a little bit more gullible, and I was like, sure. But then
I don't think that's being gullible. That's being open-minded. Because I think most young people would have said no off the bat. Like, they would have been like, hell no. You know what I mean? I think the fact that you even thought about it, that doesn't make you gullible. You tried it. Did you like it?
We didn't make it. We didn't make it to the point where we was putting the action. We was putting it into action. Because I was hesitant a little bit about it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not a normal setup to be like, yeah, you can go do your thing, da 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 da. But like I said, I'm not fully closed off to it, but I don't know if I'm fully open to it either.
It's a hard pill to swallow for women, period. I don't think any woman would be just like, oh yeah, go ahead, like do your thing. And then, because most men don't want you to do your thing, and I have to just only mess with you, right? I don't think most women, I'm not saying that some women, if the man has money and the woman doesn't really love him like that, and she's just with him for the money, she's going to be okay with that. Like, right, like have another woman. That's fine, because I don't have to spend time with you, right? Like that's less time I'm obligated to have to. You said what?
I said I disagree. I feel like from my perspective, and this I'm speaking only for myself, be honest with me. Like if we're coming into a situation and we're in a relationship, if you want to see other people or you want to have sex with somebody else, let me know. And then from there, I can tell you exactly what I want to do. If I want to stay with you or not.
Well, I definitely
maybe we're not exclusive anymore.
I think being given the option is the best case scenario in the situation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But you got to be willing to communicate and be open to that conversation. You got to be open to that conversation too and be honest.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely understand like being open to and that goes back to that whole communication, like being able to verbally say what it is that you want,
non-negotiables.
But I will say that give me the option. You know what I'm saying? Give me the option. before you just go do your thing. Like, allow me to
Yeah.
decide if this is what I want to be a part of.
Right. I absolutely. You got to be honest about it. You can't just be out here, just not being honest, because then that creates other issues, other like underlying problems in the relationship. But no, I mean, I personally think like when I was, in my 20s dating, I had a very fantastical viewpoint on dating where you be with one person, you guys are both faithful to each other, you live happily ever after, you don't have any problems, like there's not gonna be any issues, you know what I mean? Like, so I think now that I've experienced life, life in different spectrums. I've experienced dating before. I kind of know what's out here. I kind of have outlined different traits that I've seen in men. A lot of men, for the most part, unfortunately, ladies, like, they want more than one woman. Now, some of them will act on it and some of them won't, but most of them do. Like, it is what it is. And I'm just at the point where I'm not saying that I'm okay with it, or I'm like, oh yeah, sign me up for, that situation. But I'm at least more open-minded now to it. If you can, I guess, at least sell me on the benefits of like that I will get from it, or how would this work? Like, how will we actually execute on this? Like, given what we both want in a relationship. And that's just kind of where I stand with it. I don't know. Have you guys read A Black Man's Guide to Understanding a Black Woman by I think her name is Shahrazad Ali. She wrote it back in the 90s, but it's a really good book. And she was very controversial though in the 90s, because she was basically for men, like not for them, but just basically telling women like, look, this is what men do, ladies, like, you're gonna have to just accept it, or be okay with being single.
I do not like those books where it's like I don't care for Steve Harvey act like a whatever man, think like a act like a lady, think like a man, or a woman telling you. To me, everybody is different, and what in our society, it's so easy to sell a dream, sell an image, sell anything. Like on social media, everybody is selling themselves. Half of what you see is not what is perceived. So I think what a lot of people go wrong is comparing what somebody else has to what they have, or thinking like, I see Will and Jada, I want what Will and Jada got. We don't really know what Will and Jada got, because they just ain't exposed that to us, because that's their marriage. It ain't for everybody to see. Like, really, you have to just do your own thing. Even when you with somebody, like, a lot of us go wrong by leaning on our friends, telling them all our relationship business. And I made that mistake early on in my marriage. I feel like talking to people about things, and I'm telling you, it's not for nobody else. It's for you and that person. Because when you go letting everybody else come on in and get their opinion and give you advice, that's when stuff go left. So I think we have to just really do what's best for me, because what might be my preference might not be that person's preference. And maybe you are a woman that's okay being with a man that's with you and XYZ, but you don't have to let everybody know that. Or,
Right.
I mean, it ain't like, I just feel like people just really need to do their own thing. Everything is not a viral video for social media, or everything is not to be accepted or liked by everybody. Like, because I say all the time, when I got married young, everybody's like, what the hell, what you doing this, that, and the third? But I did what I wanted to do. Like, now, Black love and marriage and all of that, like, now it's promoted and now it's okay. But there was a time where people was like, I ain't getting married, or I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do that. Like, just always do what you want to do. And a lot of people don't want to be married. They okay being with this person for the rest of their life without getting married, because to some people it's just a piece of paper. Like, do what you want to do, what works best for you.
Facts.
A
So
word, okay.
I
said a word, okay, Drea.
Facts.
Facts. I think we covered all the talking points for the episode. Are there like any final words that y'all would like to say, as far as advice when it comes to projecting what you want in a mate?
I guess I'll go first. I would just say, write down the things that you want, like actually verbalize it, but not only that, write it down, maybe even video, record yourself telling yourself what you actually want in a man, and have your non-negotiables, have things that you're absolutely not going to bend on. So have your standards, but like we talked about, make sure you're matching those standards. Like, you can't ask for what you're not willing to kind of put out there, and just be positive. And I, again, believe in the laws of attraction and all of that. So just making sure that you are putting yourself out there to attract and receive that type of man, and just being open. That's all I have. This is Chaz.
Drea.
Well, I guess what I would say is just be true to yourself. Really know yourself, know who you are. Because in life, we want different things at different points in our lives. So just mainly be in touch with yourself so that you can know what it is you truly want, your own desires. And yeah, don't ask for nothing that you ain't giving in return. Here comes Zuri with her commentary too. But but yeah, just be true to you. And hold your guns. Don't tolerate, don't go for less than what you feel like you deserve, but also, do that self-reflection, manifest it. I guess go raise your hand. Don't don't be desperate.
Raise your hand.
Put yourself out there. I think you do have to put yourself out there, and yeah, make yourself happy.
Loretta.
I think my final words would be figure out what you want and hold yourself to that same standard. And maybe don't settle for connections that are not genuine. Like if this person doesn't make you laugh or make you happy, maybe eliminate those people. Evaluate your relationships and be mindful and cautious of who you allow in your space. That's it.
John.
Yeah, I would say, when you see something that you're interested in, don't be afraid to speak up and start a conversation. And, when you do find someone that has, things that you like and values is some of the same things that you like, just keep other people out your business and create your own happy ending.
All right. So my final words on this subject is, you definitely have to self-evaluate what it is that you bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? And if you feel like what you're bringing to the table is good, seek that in the person that you want to be with. You know what I'm saying? Be open to possibly, I'm not going to say not getting what you want or settling, but understanding that whoever you end up with may not check all the boxes. But the things that you find non-negotiable, stick to those things, because some things can be worked, some things can be taught, and be open to that. So that is going to wrap it up for this week's episode of Kiki with Coco. I appreciate you guys for tuning in as always, and stay tuned for next week's episode. Bye.